Coming up.
Do you know who went in after you?
Can she have a glass of Bovril?
We all like a bit of Bovril.
Whoa, okay, that could end my career.
Take out any emotion you want to give the lines.
It makes sense intellectually.
100% yes.
I'm not some guru. I know all the answers. I'm just going, hey, look, this worked for me, and so I'm going to share it with you.
Sometimes it's remarkably different, but it throws us, doesn't it, Sam?
How do you say that? Oh, I wish I could have gone out to see him.
Ignoring the woman standing next to me.
It is not possible for you to sound flat.
And that's what you are left with, isn't it?
This is what clients want. Authentic, genuine voices.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that? Hello, welcome to How Do You Say That, sponsored by BritishVoiceover.co.uk. Here is my co-host, Miss Samantha Boffin.
Hello, and here is my co-host, Mark Rice.
Hello. This is the performance podcast for voice actors, where we talk to a different voice actor every week, play around with some scripts.
And discover there isn't just one way to read a script. There are lots of different ways.
Yes,
So, Mark,
yes.
True or false?
Ooh, okay.
I once went to the cinema with Lady Di.
Ooh, with or in the same cinema as?
Okay, right. In the same cinema as
If it's
Lady
in the same
Di.
cinema as, then I'm going to say probably true.
It was true. I actually stood next to her in the ladies and
Nice.
we washed our hands at the same time. And then I came out and my then boyfriend said, "Do you know who went in after you?" I went, no, not clear. So I spent the whole time in there washing my hands, ignoring the woman standing next to
Wow.
me, who
How
was
funny.
Lady Di.
I have a slightly sadder true or false for
Okay.
you. But on the same vein, I was the first newsreader in Britain to announce Diana's death.
Oh, well, that's cheery. God,
is it
that's
true or
amazing.
false?
Really? Oh, well, I think it's true.
It is true. I was working for LBC and we went a solid 2.5 minutes before any other news outlet in the world. Because I had a news
Wow.
editor that went, I've got 2 sources, let's do it. And it's like, whoa, okay, that could end my career, but...
I was going to say that would have been quite a thing if it hadn't been the case.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. But it was a horrific day that I will never, ever forget. It was quite the day. Anyway.
On that note, let's
on
pick
that
it
note,
up, babe.
Let's pick it up, exactly. Let's welcome our special guest for this week, voice actor, director and coach Paul Cartwright. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
It's good to have you along from
I'm sure
Utah.
your audience immediately just went, oh, an American.
We have quite a
that's
lot
true,
of
actually.
Americans. It's all good. Let's find out a little bit more about Paul, shall we?
Absolutely. So Paul has spent more than 2 decades as an actor doing musicals and plays before moving to the UK to get his MFA in acting from the Royal Conservatoire. And after working with the best voice coaches in the world, including the Royal Shakespeare Company, Paul moved to Los Angeles to continue his on-camera and voiceover career.
So some of the clients that Paul has worked with are Disney Animation, Game of Thrones, Mercedes-Benz, Pepsi, Google. Do you see where I'm going with this? Epic Games,
Big.
Nintendo. Paul has since moved to Salt Lake City, Utah with his family, and he's a full-time voice actor and director. So welcome along. Have you got a fun fact for us, Paul?
I do. In fact, in this whole vein of true or false, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Okay.
True or false?
Ooh.
Hugh Bonneville once asked me for my photo.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I so
Wow,
desperately want that
okay.
to be true.
I
Lord,
want that to be
Lord
true.
Grantham. I'm going to call true on that, Sam. Where are you going?
I'm going
with
true. I'm going true on that.
It
Has
is
to be.
actually true.
it? How did that come
In
about?
what context? Yeah.
So I did a performance with him at here in Utah. There was a big performance for the Tabernacle. We have a very famous choir here in Utah called the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. They've been singing for 100 years, and they did a giant Christmas program. And Hugh Bonneville was the guest narrator for the program, and I was one of the actors who was performing one of the lead roles in the story that we were doing. And Hugh and I had met and talked and had gone through the week, together. And I had asked him several times, I would love to get a photo before we end this thing. And he was like, of course, yes, please. He's one of the most incredible, beautiful men in the world. He was so lovely. And on the last day, I had forgotten. And when we finished, he said, Paul, is it all right if we take a photo together?
Oh,
And I said, Hugh, I would love that.
I love him just a little bit more now. That's really
Yeah.
sweet.
So he asked me for a photo with him.
Nice. And as we remember all things Downton Abbey, let's look at the first script of our show and ask,
Ooh.
how do you say that?
How do you say that?
So, Mark, it's your script this week. Tell us
It
a
is.
little bit about your script.
All right, so this is a commercial radio script from a company in Europe that I do quite a lot of commercials for. And when they sent it to me, they said, just your standard read, Mark. And this was the very first commercial that I recorded after One Voice this year, after I had taken Paul Cartwright's special workshop in dialing it down.
Right.
And so, interestingly, I sent them 2 different reads, Paul, and you'll like this.
Lovely.
I sent them the one that they had asked for, the standard read that they were booking me for, and I sent them a much more dialed-down read as we had been doing in the workshop. And he used the dialed-down one, and he said, no, actually, I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Aha!
So
Interesting,
there you
isn't
have
it?
Very interesting.
So it's one of those ones that actually you try something out for real in real life to get paid for, and they go, yeah, I like that.
That makes
So
me
there's
feel better.
something in what you're saying.
I haven't had the benefit of knowing what Paul says, so I could completely balls this up when I do it.
Well, Sam, you go first. So interestingly, the original direction was, as you would expect me to do this commercial in years gone by,
Okay.
potentially.
So my only question is about this is, so it's a radio commercial?
Yes, radio commercial, 30
Yes.
seconds, yeah.
30 seconds.
It's quite underwritten for 30, so there's no
Phew.
rush on this at all.
Okay. All right, I'll give it my best shot.
Okay.
All right. Senior Living the COMM is an international community for those aged 65 and over. Enjoy an active, independent lifestyle with comfort, peace of mind and healthcare assistance whenever it's needed. Find out more today on 966 878 400. Senior Living the COMM, for those who already know what life is all about.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah?
Samantha just naturally has a lovely voice.
Did I overdo it? That's the thing, because we wanted pared back, didn't we? Now that's
So is now the time to get into this,
Yeah.
Mark? Is
yes,
now
yes,
the time?
yes. Now's the time to get into it.
This is Paul's theory on commercials these days, and I think it stands up pretty well.
Okay.
So what's interesting is that naturally we as voice actors have the innate ability to craft a story or to craft a phrase, right? We know
Because
how
that's
to,
just what we do, right?
that's what we do.
Yeah.
All we do all day is we use our artistic abilities to make something, sound good or sound beautiful or sound coherent, whatever it is. We can do that naturally. What often happens, especially in commercial, is we give it too much crafting. We think that we have to give the audience more than they actually need. And there were several times in there where I could hear you going, oh, this is a great opportunity to share more with the audience and really make sure that this sentence makes sense, which is normal and good and important. And I think in the commercial world that now we can actually pull away from that a bit and trust our audiences a little more to not need hand-holding artistically. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. What were the sort of things I was doing? Was I over-enunciating things? Was I...
Well, I've got a great example of it, and in that final line, it's written like that. I mean, it's absolutely written like that, Sam. For those who already know what life is all about, it's written as a voiceover-y line,
Yep.
and it sounds voiceover-y.
Yeah.
And what Paul is saying, we're trying to completely eliminate the voiceover-y from it.
So my idea is this, Sam. Think of it less as how can I craft this and polish this, and just think of it more as I'm just going to share this information happily. I'm going to still make it understandable, but I'm not going to paint pictures with it. I'm just going to share information. Because what I'm getting to is that you can trust your innate senses to do the work, even if you are not actively trying to do the work. Does that make sense?
Yes. The thing is, it makes sense intellectually.
Yes.
Yes,
Whether-
so 100%. Yes.
I can actually nail it.
So here's the task then. I want you to read it again, but this time take out any emotion you want to give the lines.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean flat, though,
It
does
doesn't
it?
mean flat. It's going to feel monotone to your head and it's going to feel flat in your head. But I don't want you to make it flat. I want you to just bring down the crafting and the polishing and just talk.
Okay. Okay, so it's taking out the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
My emotion.
Yeah.
And my craft.
Mm-hmm.
for want of a better word.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think I've ever thought of myself as crafting anything, but yes. Okay.
Well, I think that's the thing. We don't think of it. It's just natural. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right. Senior Living the COM is an international community for those aged 65 and over. Enjoy an active, independent lifestyle with comfort, peace of mind and healthcare assistance whenever it's needed. Find out more today on 966 878 400. Senior Living the COM for those who already know what life is all about.
Fascinating.
You snuck a bit of crafting right there at the end, though,
Did
for
I?
those paws who
Did
were
I?
already. It's like, just
Probably.
a tiny bit. But there was a massive difference there, Paul, wasn't there?
There was. And what's fascinating is that I think Mark hit on it is when you get to the end, when you start shifting over to this idea, you get to the end of a read and you're like, that was terrible and I have no idea what just happened.
Yes. Yeah.
And yet it sounded very natural.
And there was some emotion there. There was a connection there, Sam. That's what we're getting at. And it's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, one of my issues is that I often listen to myself back and think I sound flat. So that always worries me because, of course, you know, and so I worry that I will listen back to that and diss it because I think, oh God, it's a flat old Sam again.
And here's my thesis, my argument is that because you are naturally a voice actor and you have those artistic abilities innate within you, it is not possible for you to sound flat. You won't let yourself, no matter how hard you try.
Okay.
Your body naturally, as an artist, is going to add pitch and depth and resonance and highs and lows, even if you're fighting against it. Now, understandably, if someone says, okay, for this read, take everything out and make it totally monotone, you could do that because you're an actor, right? You know how to do that. But if you're just naturally reading, you cannot stifle those natural artistic tendencies within you that want to craft and polish. So this idea is tone it down so that your natural intonations come out and not your crafted intonations. Does that make sense?
So yeah, it does make sense intellectually, but if we're quite animated as people already, it's almost like you're taking out your own personality from it. How do we get around that?
So what that is, instead of allowing your full personality to come out, what you're instead doing is saying, what is required of my authenticity for this scenario?
Okay.
And for this scenario, what's required for the audience is that I bring my energy and my expressiveness down to a smaller level. It's not that you're removing your authenticity or that you're stifling it. It's that you're refocusing it for what's required.
And presumably then each context is going to be different.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right, Paul, I'd like you to have a read of it next, just in the way that if it landed on your desk as a either a commercial or an audition, that you would send it to someone.
Now, question for you.
Yeah.
Is this for the UK market or the US market?
Actually, it's for the European market.
Oh, the European market.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll read in an American accent.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Senior Living the COM is an international community for those aged 65 and over. Enjoy an active, independent lifestyle with comfort, peace of mind, and healthcare assistance whenever it's needed. Find out more today on 966 878 400. Senior Living the COM, for those who already know what life is all about.
It's interesting how it sneaks in, doesn't it? The telephone number sneaks in because there's a natural pause, isn't there, after today, that I think has to stay there. And even if you're pulling right back, it has to stay there, I think.
Yeah, there's something about information that is necessary for the audience, that there's just a sense that their ears are trained to hear that very specific information.
It was actually the simple friendliness of it.
Yeah.
Which I really
and that's
liked.
that's exactly it. But you take part of that crafting away, the voiceoveriness crafting.
Yeah.
And that's what you are left with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what clients want. They want authentic, genuine voices.
Yep.
And so if you can present yourself in your most natural, friendly, warm state without any crafting, that's what clients want.
Do you find that voiceovers worry that they are going to sound broadly similar in everything that they do?
Yeah, I don't know if they're worried they're going to sound similar. I wonder if they worried that, I think the majority that I've heard is they're worried they're going to sound disinterested or flat.
Okay.
Yes. And that's certainly my worry. Yeah.
And the truth is that you're not, because you're not capable of that unless you force yourself into a monotonous read that's asked for. If you're asked to just do less, to be more genuine and authentic, no living voice actor is going to naturally resort to, I'm just going to be on the same note the entire time and not change. Like that can't happen.
Yeah.
Often people say, and maybe it's with the more acting-based voice work that we do, people often say directors prefer you to give more so they can pull you back, because it's easier to pull somebody back from a big read than it is to push somebody forward from a small read.
And I'm going to rebuttal that.
Okay.
By saying, as a voice director, the only time I say that is when I'm not getting enough from the initial read to think that they're capable of giving me what I want.
Okay.
If I get an actor who's giving me what I need, I never question whether or not I need to see them at their highest range.
Okay. And is that for all kinds of different sorts of voiceover work? So from narrative and commercial through to video game stuff and acting, parts, as it were?
Yeah, I think so, because I think it's something that if a voice director can hear that there might be something in there that they like, they may then say, hey, go as far as you can so I can see.
Okay.
But if you come out of the gate rocking and rolling, they couldn't care less.
Interesting. I think what I want to do is show you what I would have done ordinarily had I never met Paul.
And then
after that,
do
because I did send this client both reads. So the one that he was expecting and the one that I thought, I'll try it.
Which one did you put first?
I sent them as two separate files, in fact. So they had the choice. But he used the pulled back one.
Yes, no,
is what he said, and that was interesting because I emailed Sam straight after he told me that and went, "Oh my God, this has just happened." All right, so this is the way I would have done it. Senior Living the COMM is an international community for those aged 65 and over. Enjoy an active, independent lifestyle with comfort, peace of mind, and healthcare assistance whenever it's needed. Find out more today on 966 878 400. Senior Living the COMM, for those who already know what life is all about. And for years and years and years, I've been booked to do that.
Full on rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But styles change. You're so right.
Styles change.
Styles change. And so I also sent them this. Senior Living the COMM is an international community for those aged 65 and over. Enjoy an active, independent lifestyle with comfort, peace of mind and healthcare assistance whenever it's needed. Find out more today on 966 878 400. Senior Living the COMM, for those who already know what life is all about.
Yeah. And for us as voice actors, our first response is, but wait,
yes.
Wait, you didn't do a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because as voice actors, this is what we're trained to do. But as the receivers, as the demographic who are going to be receiving this, our, Mark's first read, it's not authentic to them. Mm-hmm. That last read is authentic to them.
Is it like the voiceover world is catching up with the difference between theatre acting and screen acting? Is that the kind of thing that we're almost doing here?
And this was another thing I got into, is that as voice actors, for film especially, you have to trust the microphone and the camera.
Yeah.
You have to just trust that they're doing the job they're supposed to do and picking up everything they need to. And I was telling Mark that when I first started doing this stuff, I struggled. My on-ramp from stage acting to film acting, I thought was rough. My on-ramp from stage and film to voice took about 1.5 years because I just could not for the life of me get into this headspace of trusting that the microphone picks up every single nuance, every single detailed breath, every single slight pitch shift, everything.
Yeah.
And once you can trust that, then you can go and understand, oh, it's not flat. It's not a dull read. I'm just minimizing.
Is it also the difference between old voiceover and the TikTok age?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Because people are hearing that all the time.
Yeah. The community right now, I think, is just oversaturated with falsity. They're oversaturated with disingenuousness. And so they can pick out when a voice is just sharing information happily and being authentic. They can hear it.
Play, how do you say that?
It's worthwhile remembering these are real scripts we've been working on, but we've changed the names and some details to avoid copyright issues. Remember, you can find both the scripts we're using today in the show notes of this episode.
Yeah, so Paul, tell us a bit about the script that you've brought along.
Yes. So what's nice is I wrote this script. This is a script. So I started a company, a business with some associates about 2 years ago called Audio Stories. And I was in desperate need to create audio dramas that were different than what people have listened to. I mean, some of the audio dramas of the UK are some of the classics, and they understood the concept of storytelling and drama and art all mixed into these audio dramas. And so I did a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk that I rewrote completely and added music and sound effects and different voices and everything. And I'll send you the links to these. It's a section called Story Lore. And I've got 3 stories out now: Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red, and The Emperor's Clothes, 3 of which won Voice Arts Awards.
We can put them in the show notes. We can put the links in the show notes. So lovely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
One thing as a voice actor and as a now on-camera actor and stage actor that I think you, especially Samantha, and you, Mark, will understand is there is an art to telling a story.
Yes.
And being able to have a through line and an arc. And so the reason I brought this script is to help us remember how to start and end a story. What happens all the way throughout, and how it connects to the next line, and how that connects to the beginning, and how the ending brings the whole thing together. So we're basically going juxtaposed to what we just did, which was the simplicity of just being genuine and authentic, to now, how do we craft and tell a story authentically?
To what kind of audience, this, Paul?
This is all audiences. So we built it specifically for family-centered audiences, meaning there's nothing in this that could offend even a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Like it's just all family-friendly storytelling.
But we're not necessarily talking to children directly.
You are not talking to children directly. In fact, in the world of this, you are the narrator sharing the beginnings of what happened to Jack before all of the story we currently know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me give it a go first. we'll see if we get the story arc in there, shall we?
I love it.
All right. Okay. Long ago, in a sleepy village on the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault and rarely complained. And he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
Ooh, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Yes, I love that you started in that very authentic marketplace.
Once upon a time style.
And what was funny is as it went along, I could hear the storytelling increasing, which is lovely. And I think it's important and necessary for this mode, which is hard because now your brain's going, wait, I was supposed to not, and now it's supposed to come back. And,
yes.
And I think it's important to know that these are essential. Like we have to know how to distinguish and separate. Again, it comes back to this idea I spoke with you about, Sam, about audience. What is required for this? What's required is maybe a bigger voice, maybe bigger storytelling, but maintaining the authenticity. So I would love to hear a version, Mark, where you went into big storytelling while not placating, if that makes sense. Keeping it authentic, but maybe giving us even more world depth and world building, if that makes sense.
Ooh, okay. So more storytelling, bigger storytelling.
Yes, to serve the needs of the audience.
Okay.
But without losing your authenticity and your genuineness.
Okay. Long ago, in a sleepy village on the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault and rarely complained. That, and he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
Ooh, lovely.
Nice.
Lovely. How did that feel?
It was different, wasn't it? It felt big. It felt like I wasn't pulling back as much. It felt a bit bigger, but it felt more storytelling.
Yes, I didn't feel like you were placating long ago in a sleepy, like there wasn't a sense of disingenuousness. You were just, let me just be bigger because that's what's required here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice.
But it felt very different. The two
Yeah,
leads
oh yeah.
felt
I'm
very
glad
different.
it felt different.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you were auditioning, you could send both. Which did you prefer, Mark?
I preferred the second one, interestingly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did as well.
Where are you
All
going to
right.
go with it, Sam, I wonder?
Who knows? Long ago, in a sleepy village on the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault and rarely complained. That, and he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
Nice.
Lovely. I had an idea while you were doing that, Sam.
Yep.
I want to hear, just for fun,
How I
go
would do it
stage
if I was
mode on this.
On staging. Okay.
So you're standing on stage,
Okay.
about to bring them into this story.
Okay. So you want me to be live, as it were, in front of an audience.
Just as playtime, yeah. I want to hear what that
Yeah,
would sound
okay.
like if you were...
Okay. Long ago, in a sleepy village on the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault, and rarely complained. That, and he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
I could see you on the side of the stage there, Sam, actually. Yeah, and then the scene unfolds in front of you.
Yeah.
Very, very different. I mean, it kind of speaks to what we do on this podcast every week. It's how do you say that in a whole bunch of different ways?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a difference from holding a device in your hand and listening to something to sitting in an audience and listening to something. And it not only is it a very different way of doing it, it's a very different way of receiving it as well.
Absolutely.
Yep,
And what's funny is I wish I could see both of your faces when you hear what I did for this narration. Because I think both of you are going to be very, very surprised when you hear what it is.
I can't wait. I want to hear it. Yes, please.
Long ago, in a sleepy village on the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault and rarely complained. That, and he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
Oh, God, I want to hear the whole
Amazing.
thing.
So that was full on, character read.
Yeah.
full character read, but bringing all of the life and just everything that I can bring that's real and authentic to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in a character voice.
That's so cool.
Yes, it really is.
We should have done that, Mark. We should have each done a character voice. That would have been very cool.
Well, there is still the wild card bit of the show to come. We can still do this, potentially.
That's true.
Let's do these scripts in a different way.
Okay. So, Paul, find one of the scripts and choose something different that either Mark or I can do with it.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I would love for you, Mark, to do this narration script. And I want you to go full character.
Yep.
But practicing what we talked about with there's no sense of goofiness and silliness for the sake of a crazy character.
Yep.
Keep that authenticity and reality, but really push the boundaries of character. Something that you maybe wouldn't normally do.
You got a character.
I think I might aim giant, actually.
Oh, okay.
So story from the giant's perspective.
2 giants. Oh, well, then you would be appalled with Jack then.
Yeah.
Yes, go on then.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Long ago, in a sleepy village in the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault, and rarely complained. That, and he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
Ooh.
I love that.
Okay.
The giant voice. Ooh,
Giant vibes.
Totally.
Giant
How did that feel?
vibes. Yeah, I took on board what you said, that he would dislike Jack.
Yeah.
And it does put a kind of different swing on it, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, because I suppose at the point that you're doing it, you've got to at some point become that giant.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to somehow describe yourself and say what you did.
Yes.
If you took it that far.
Yes, indeed.
So, Paul, I would like you to be a nervous best man at a wedding. And actually, I'll be kind and give you script 2 because, I'll give you script 2 and you've just standing up, you're a nervous best man and you're just about to do your speech at the wedding breakfast.
I love this. Okay. Long ago, in a sleepy village on the outskirts of a busy town, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack's father disappeared when he was a child, and all Jack could remember of him was the joy of his laughter and the tenderness of his voice. But for Jack and his widowed mother, things were what they were. They were poor, and their farm was failing. But Jack wasn't worried. He was an unusual boy, cheerful to a fault, and rarely complained. That and he had a secret. He could speak to animals.
I love, and I could see him standing at top table and doing this at a wedding. And didn't that fit nicely? Because the groom was obviously Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
So good. It was, yes, who knows who he's married or
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That was again beautifully done because I like you, Mark. I could absolutely see him standing up, gesturing, left, right, and about to give us all an in-depth story about him. Yeah, I thought it was lovely. That was so good.
Well, you bring up something really important, too, that Mark and I talked about in this workshop. And it's this sense of when you can give very specific context, your performance dramatically improves.
Yes.
Because you have a visual. That's
and
the difference between...
Yes.
It's the difference between, okay, so Paul, pretend you're at a wedding and say this.
Yeah.
That's different than pretend you are the best man.
Yep.
And you have history with this person and background, and you've developed this whole context that then affects the whole read.
And in that vein, Sam, I am going to give you the script one. I'm going to give you the commercial for senior living, but I would like you to be an old lady sitting in a chair telling somebody just visiting why it's a good place to live because you've lived there.
Oh, crumbs. Okay, right.
Can she have a glass of Bovril?
Yeah, I think so.
We all like a bit of Bovril. All right.
A mug of Bovril.
So a very specific older lady sitting at... Okay, right. Oh, I don't know where this is going to go. Okay. Oh, senior living, the COMM, is an international community for those aged 65 and over. I mean, enjoy an active and an independent lifestyle with comfort, peace of mind, healthcare assistance whenever it's needed. You can find out more today on 966 878 400. Yeah. There was a... See, the thing is, senior living, the COMM, those already know what life is all about. It's great.
I could see you sitting in the chair. Absolutely. Yeah. And explaining it. It's not, it was very gentle. It was more gentle than I expected you to go with it, interestingly.
Oh, God, what did you think she was going to do?
I wasn't sure. Not get up and do a song and dance routine, exactly.
I wasn't sure as I embarked, as I often am not sure as I embarked, on the actual voice choice I made, on the actual sort of accent choice I made, or even the person choice I made. But
I liked it. I thought it felt very real. Did you, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I absolutely heard the authenticity of it. And I think that was very important.
It's always really interesting doing old people, actually, because, you know, they're not as quavery as we think they are.
No, they're not. Exactly.
You know, when I think how resonant my dad was right into his 90s, I think, my God, you know, it's very interesting what our expectation is of things and what the reality is of things, I think.
My uncle is 91 and doesn't sound frail in any way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to play along in the privacy of your own booths, we've put the scripts in the show notes so you can have a try yourselves.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Paul, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. It is fascinating, this pulling back from crafting. It's brilliant.
Oh, well, it's been working for me, so why not share it?
Absolutely. Well, a reminder that all of Paul Cartwright's details can be found in the show notes so you can have a look around yourself.
Of course, all the scripts are there as well, as I say. And if you want to see what we look like in our booths, do check out the podcast by searching at HDYST Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, and you can see us all in action.
Yes, that's it for this week, though. Thanks again to the brilliant Paul Cartwright. We'll be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest when we'll be asking...
How do you say
that? How do you say that?